Project Hail Mary is about a man named Ryland Grace, played by Ryan Gosling, who wakes up in space with no recollection of who he is or how he got there, and slowly remembers what his mission is, and meets a little special friend along the way that's going to help him save the world. Ryland Grace is a microbiologist who was kicked out of academia and starts the film teaching seventh grade science. He is thrust into this insanely crazy, high-stakes situation and reacts in the way that a person who isn't a Navy SEAL might react, a real person might react, like any of us, because we're all very regular, normal people.
Yeah.
He's super smart. He's super resourceful, but he isn't maybe the best at social skills or other things. So he has to learn and grow and figure out how to become a real hero.
Correct. In the film, there is a space microbe called astrophage that are eating the sun, and in fact diminishing the energy of every star in the entire galaxy except for one. And so, in order to keep the Earth from plunging into a new ice age, we, the human race, get together and send Ryan Gosling 11.9 light years away to study this one star and understand why it is not succumbing to this microbe. And he wakes up in a spaceship. Everyone else is dead. He realizes he's alone trying to solve this mission, and he looks out the window and he sees an alien craft is there to study the exact same problem.
Yeah, the stakes are huge in the movie, but really it's a relationship story. It's a friendship story, and that is the heart of the movie, and that's the most important thing about the film, is making you fall in love with these characters as they are learning how to work together and starting to care for each other. And that's what makes the film so emotional, and that's what makes the film so warm. A lot of films that are set in space are very antiseptic and cold and distant. This movie is warm and hopeful and optimistic, and it's full of emotion.
Charlie Wood, who's our very distinguished production designer, threw himself into research. So much of what he did was look at what different space agencies build. The cockpit that he built is full of real avionics from spacecraft and from like stealth jets and stuff like that. And so he brought a kind of a I don't know, I guess a heightened realism to all that stuff.
We had two different forms of gravity when it was in centrifugal mode and when it was traveling. So we had to have the sets not only built vertically and horizontally so that the characters could experience them in those two different ways. Very complicated to take a set and turn it on its side and figure out how it would work physically. But we made it extra difficult for ourselves, but it paid off because it's really there and you can feel it.
Ava Strat has been tasked by the entire world to organize this massive multinational project involving the space agencies of Europe, America, China and Russia, among others, and marshal all of those forces together in some kind of organized way. So you need someone who's incredibly willful, who's endowed with outrageous amounts of power that no single person should be endowed with, and somehow to not abuse that power, or at least abuse it for the right reasons. And so we cast a wonderful actor named Sandra Hüller, who is able to wear that power casually for most of the film.
Sandra's one of the great actors of this era. She brought a lot of reality and thoughtfulness to the part, and was able to make Strat someone who was hard-edged and no nonsense, but also felt like a real person and not a caricature.
From the first meetings we had with Ryan about the screenplay, he was insistent that he wanted to be a regular person and react like a regular person would in these scenarios. He's like, if I woke up and a robot was trying to force feed me food out of a tube, I would want to fight the robot. So we created a fight with the robot. If I was asked to do a spacewalk, I would immediately say no. You would have to drag me kicking and screaming to get out into the hull of a spaceship. Absolutely not. So those intuitive reactions that he had, which I think are the kinds of reactions that a regular person has, an audience member has, I think makes his growth into the person who saves all of mankind, and oh, by the way, a whole other planet's worth of life, that makes that so much more powerful and credible.
Yeah, you can really relate to him, even though he's really smart. He's a microbiologist. Most of us aren't microbiologists, but the character is also at the same time very human and not someone who has no flaws or insecurities. He is like us, and that's why I think he's so relatable in the film.